In Colossians chapter 3, we're learning that we have a responsibility to live out the new life that God has given to us. Now, last time we looked at verse 5, and we talked about the importance of starving out these evil desires, these old behaviors and patterns of life, and turning into this new life and leaning into this new life that God has given us. I want to read for you this time Colossians 3 verse 6, which says, "On account of these things, the wrath of God is coming." On account of those sinful desires, all of those old actions, those old patterns of life and lifestyles that we have talked about, the wrath of God is coming. Now, why does Paul say that to us? Now, bear in mind, he is talking to us as Christ followers. So he is not talking about the fact that we're going to face judgment for our sin when the wrath of God comes. I think he is reminding us of what God has saved us from through Jesus Christ. And in giving thanks for the grace of God that has saved us and radically changed our lives, this should give us motivation to live out this new life. It also reminds us that for many of those around us, the wrath of God is coming. They will face his wrath. Makes me think of Hebrews chapter 9. Let me read a couple of verses for you. Verse 27 says, "And just as it is appointed for man to die once, and after that comes judgment, so Christ, having been offered once to bear sins of many, will appear a second time, and not to deal with sin, but to save those who are eagerly waiting for him." So it is appointed to every man, every woman, every child on the face of the earth to die, and after that is judgment. And that is what those will face who have not trusted Jesus Christ as their Savior, who have not been saved by his grace. But he also says, for us, he is coming not for judgment, but to save those of us who are eagerly waiting for him. So here's what I want to challenge you with this time. In light of all of those sinful desires that we all continue to battle, we continue to struggle with, even though we are saved, let us be reminded that we have been saved from the wrath of God, that when Christ comes back, he is going to save those who are eagerly waiting for him. We are going to fully and finally realize our salvation. What a wonderful day that will be. Now let me ask you this. When Christ comes, how do you want to be living? You want to be living those old patterns still? Or do you want to be starving those out and drawing ever closer to Christ so that when he returns, he will find you eagerly waiting for him?